Hello, Taurus. I hope you guys come back again, or if not, so welcome to the channel. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and also hope you share. I hope you guys enjoy the channel. I hope you enjoy the reading. Give me a thumbs up, or comment down below and telling me how did I do. Okay, if I did pretty bad, but hey, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. I'm trying. Anyway, I don't want to seem like I'm so, such a hysteric person, but because I know how you Taurus could be very blunt and like, girl, just go ahead and get on with the message, okay? Well, I'm going to tell you about love today only. Well, it's not going to be just about love because, of course, you in life, love deals with every aspect of your life, right? So you don't just, some of us do wish we could just live in Alice in Wonderland forever and not have to work and not have to tend to our kids or do anything. But there comes with obstacles and bad things always come in the mix of our living and love, So therefore, some things will come out that may be affecting your relationship with the person who you're trying to be with, or it may not even seem like I'm talking about love. It might seem like I'm all over the place. But bear with me, okay? I'm trying to slow down and talk like I can speak good English because I'm slightly country broken, and also I talk pretty fast because some of the states I lived in, they require you to talk a little faster. And in some states, like in one I'm in now, it kind of like, what you say, gal? Slow it down. Can't understand. You from New York? You're Yankee? I'm like, I've never been to New York a day in my life, sir. Never been there. You know. So a lot of people calls me the Yankee girl because I talk fast, and at the same time I have this southern accent when I'm talking fast. So it's like, girl, for real? For real? What the heck? Okay. So bear with me. I'll try to put it on the screen, and you know what? In my last videos that I did for the third, fourth time that I did them, because there was a little bit too graphic. I had to delete the first set I did because I was like, no, I can't put it on the internet because some people are gonna feel like I'm throwing shots at them, and some people are gonna be like, girl, did you just say that out loud? Anyway, but anyway, um, what I'm gonna say is that what was it? I'm gonna try not to keep rambling on and going on, but um, I'm gonna try not to say stuff that I feel like I'll have to keep repeating myself over and over again, and which means that I have to take it down and restart it again because some things you just can't upload to YouTube. So, but me talking so kind of glick, and my videos didn't post the exact words that I was saying, and I'm looking like I didn't say that word. And I guess it's because of the way I talk, and I talk pretty fast, and some of the words don't actually sound pretty clear. And plus, I had a cold that was in my throat, a lot of mucus, and that was kind of making me, not be able to say my words very clear. I feel a little bit better. I still kind of got that dryness, but I feel like I'm not as kind of hoarse because it's getting over the winter, and I still kind of like talk fast, so I tend to ramble on my words. And I'm trying to work on that, okay? So bear with me, as I grow. And because information, hey, I love my spiritual work. I've been doing this thing for since 2005. And when I got into it, at first I was scared. I was like, this is devil's work. And, certain people will make it kind of demonic because, as I said in Aries video, some people's lives I go in, they have this sweet personality, and then all of a sudden they turn dark, and it's like they go to cursing and acting like they're too raw, and my rawness is not necessarily cursing you out, because I do curse sometimes, but I try not to curse because I try to be, you know try to be a good girl, and I don't want to be cursing a lot. My rawness is basically telling you stuff that you actually don't want to hear versus me cursing you out to make it seem like I'm talking raw. Or saying stuff like, say for instance, like a lot of people don't comprehend that, you send your kids to school and anything can happen. And some people just like, they don't want to hear that because they don't want to hear nothing negative about their kids. They want you to tell them, oh, my child's going to grow up to be a perfect person. This is not a perfect world. Most of the time they want to tell you my marriage is going to be perfect and we're going to have 100%, nothing but a fabulous life, and that's not what most of the time spiritual world is. It's not about you hearing everything is going to be beautiful, especially when I can't be a spiritual person who overrides what God says, okay? I can't come to you and tell you a bunch of fairy tales and something that he said is wrong on this side is not. So we can only pray that our days is good versus me telling you, oh, you're gonna marry Jerry and Jerry's gonna make you happy and he's gonna bring you roses every single day, like a dozen roses, and you be like, girl, Jerry work at McDonald's, how you gonna afford that? I'm like, but he's going to do it. She was like, well, I have faith in that. And then you come back to me again, you be like, girl, Jerry hadn't brought me the first rose yet. I was like, well, you just have faith in it. He's going to bring it to you. He was like, you sure that's what God told you or the Spirit told you? Who you talking to? Because Jerry ain't brought me no roses yet. I'm still waiting on them. I don't want to be that fairy tale person now, the priestess or spiritual person, whatever you call us, that tell you a bunch of stuff to get you to come talk to me, because hey, I already know how spiritual work. Okay, I already know how. People telling me to share the world. Girl, you ought to go out there and tell people. Oh my gosh, people just don't know. Oh my god, and I was like, shit. When it gets juicy for you, you forget to actually, just go out there and share it, because I do. Anytime I'm among people in the stores and they're catching the devil or they do something, I'm always trying to do something good to them. Not always. I try to sometimes, but I remember because I have a PMS that causes me to have a quick attitude. So when you see me flipping my head and looking crazy, like, what you looking at me for? I'm overlaid. If I'm snappy, I'm overlaid. That's why I try to tell people that when you see somebody on the internet nutting up or just pissed off all the time, it's either sometimes that PMS is on and sometimes it goes on for a long time, because you have certain women that have fibrils and their period is always on. So they have low iron. And when they have low iron, trust me, honey, to it's hard to think positive because you feel so bad inside. So that's why you have a lot of people who may seem that they're always on the bad side, or just, some of the fire signs are just angry like that a lot too. And sometimes people just have problems, they go through breakups with their boyfriends or girlfriends or whoever they're dating, and they depressed by that. And sometimes it's the family members they've been raised by, or the guardians that raised them, that got them kind of pissed off and feeling like, why was I treated like this? And most of the time you're treated like that because this world is not perfect, and I had to learn that. Everybody's not raised perfect. Everybody's not raised to treat people nice, and they may get you for money and may make you think, or make others think that, oh, I'm a nice person, I'm going to treat this child amazing. They're going to have the best time of life. They come live with me. I'm the best fairy tale godmother in the whole entire world. They could come here and stay with me. And the reality is like, woo, they're more like Cinderella stepmother or the Snow White stepmother. 90% of the time they're going to be Snow White stepmother. So sometimes you have to forgive those people and understand they're humans. And once you understand that other people are humans, you can let it go and just say, oh, okay, you're just being a human. You got good side and bad side. And because we have good and bad side, it's hard to get mad at people, because God said he forgive us because he know that we're forgetful and we have good and bad sides. So, and then plus women, we have PMS to deal with every month. Even if you don't have it, you still have those deep mood swings. And then you got some people say, girl, men have PMS too. Of course, they mostly have an effect when it comes down with the full moon energies and stuff like that. Pretty much is what gives a man that sidekick and they broken hearts or something like that. So it's a lot of different things where certain men actually, make you feel like they're on the PMS, like the water signs. Water signs tend to seem that they're always on the cancers. Cancer seem like they're always having periods. Like, do you ever have a good day? Are you okay today? They could be so amazing, sweet, have amazing energy when cancers are in a good mood, but they also could be very, very moody. And some men can tend to take on that cancer energy. All depends on, you know, like if they have a cancer energy, and they chart and it's on Saturn. Saturn is deals with your work and how you work with other people. So if they have a Cancer in their Saturn, that means that they pretty much will have that moody. When you go to work with them, you'll be like, "Dang, you're a Gemini, but you act like a Cancer today. What the heck?" So that's how certain people can. That's how I do my astronomy chart. That's how I look at it, as to say I'm a cake, and that's how you use the eggs and the flour and the oil and the water. So I feel like your birth chart is something like that. I'm rambling on, but I'm also still giving you some information that you may not know or can use for yourself. Um, like your Saturn is like dealing with work. Um, your Jupiter, I think, is dealing with how you express yourself or something like that. Like my Jupiter is in Pisces. I tend to have tend to be sort of sweet and calm and stuff. And sometimes you may think like, okay, she's a very charming person, and all of a sudden you eyes glow in a Pisces manner. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on your chart. Like a lot of people say, no, people are not just their sun sign. Majority of the times we are a major, we are our sun, we are us, our sun sign. But it's just certain things that we tend to act like. When it's a full moon, I act like a Scorpio. Scorpio is in my full moon. So I have a tendency to act very moody, very selfish. Like if someone says, "Can I get a cup of water from you?" And I might say, "No, buy your own water." And I'm like, where did that come from? Because most of the time my sign, I'm usually seeking balance, always trying to be careful. Parents want other people, always making sure other people are good, making sure you get a lot of information out of me and stuff like that. To me, some water signs tend to be about them, selfish, and feel like if I give you something, I'm gonna be losing, because they're emotional people, and it's all about me, 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 you know. And it's like a fear based thing. If they give out a little bit, they're gonna be empty. And so they feel like if they got to gain it back from you in order for them to feel fulfilled. Air signs, Taurus, Virgos, you guys tend to be the same way. It feels like if you give to somebody, you're going to be lacking too. So that way, that's where it comes in, and we have to also keep God in mind that God created us all. He created all the cells in our body. He knows exactly how much we're supposed to have, how much we're supposed to intake, but we don't understand that quite. So we live in this fear base, and if we take the fear out, then we know that we can replace what we lost. Or it's a blessing to give to people. It's not that you have to give to people foolishly. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, that girl needs a Gucci pocketbook," and off me talk to her. She needs a Chanel this. She need to know that I can buy her all kind of stuff. See, you Taurus, you have a tendency to be like, you got to do the world for me, for you to get this, baby. You got to show me, because some of you guys tend to be tight pocket. Like, I ain't finna give you all that, but you gotta give me a lot of loose booty. I want a whole lot of loose before I give you money like that. Before I took you on a shopping spree one time, but you better give it some of that loose booty. You ain't giving it none of that loose booty. You're not getting that. I'm looking at your cards and you looking like, And you can't do 5 minutes either. You can't do so much. You're tired. You got to go all out. So your earth signs, you was about to go mob deep. Nah, you got to do it. Yeah, you got. You ain't finished yet. You ain't finished. No, you ain't finished yet. Go ahead. You got to do this. You got to do that. Wait a minute, girl, you tripping. You need this Gucci pocketbook. That pocketbook $50,000. That pocketbook 20,000. And do the most. As a matter of fact, you better get down there on them. Okay. I'm just saying, but some of your earth signs, you be like, you wonder why somebody's in court. Y'all twins, y'all twinnies, okay? Y'all be want somebody to do the most for their money. But anyway, and it's that comes from people not actually living a life the way a man's supposed to live. You're supposed to, you date somebody, you're supposed to date them to get married, and then when you get married, and you provide the family, and then if you want quality stuff for your wife, then she has to be able to do what a woman is supposed to do as a wife, and so that you can every now and then buy her nice stuff. You don't have to always buy her. I'm gonna buy a Fendi pocketbook every week, a Gucci pocketbook. You know, paying for somebody else's label and stuff. It just it's unnecessarily. It's best to save for a rainy day. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, yeah, and I think some guitarists kind of think that way too, because we both share Venus. So I got it. How sometimes you want the nice, fine things for yourself, and sometimes you want to see a woman looking nice and fine and smelling good and eating healthy, and just everybody see her, you like, yeah, that's me right there. She eating good, she's healthy, yeah. So I say, okay, so I'm actually in the midst of you talking about your readings because I'm looking at the cards and actually talking in the midst of it as I'm talking. Um, so Taurus, like I said, like, comment, share the video and stuff. I hope you guys enjoy the reading. I'm also just rambling, but yeah. I feel like in the past, Taurus, I'm gonna start with just your love reading. I'm gonna start with the past, and I'm working my way up to what's going on, possibly in the near, which is probably a couple weeks from now. All depends. But as I was just rambling on, you guys definitely are feeling like you either have to give out some money in the past, or you guys are just saving X amount of money. It could be $400, 4,000, or 40,000, 400,000. It all depends on how much money you have that you're trying to put it to a side, because it could be that something came up and you need this money in your account. Um, And also could be some of your targets you have to pay child support, so that's part of why you have to put this money in the bank so that you can make sure that this person get it on their banking account. So this could be something that you was dealing with in the past. Um, I feel like you Taurus is there could have been where you had to you could have been putting your kids maybe in a school or something, and you probably had to uh, get assistance. For some of you Taurus may have need assistance, or you had to give money, a lump sum of money, to somebody. So I feel like that's why in the past you probably had to save this money, just because you knew that this is, say this is a certain school that you want your child to go for the summertime, and you had to have this money, so you was putting it to the side so this person, so that you can pay for this class. So I feel like right now what I'm seeing is when you giving the money to this person for this class that you want your kids to go to, or you have to take yourself. So some of you could be taking a class where they're not necessarily focusing on your work, job, and stuff like that. I'm mainly talking about how it's affecting your livelihood with you and your children, stuff like that. Love life. Um, for some of you Taurus, you could have got a child on social media that you don't know is, you know, she's entertaining a lot of people. She's being a little bit fast, you want to say, not running track, but she's pretty much everybody's like, girl, if your child is not with you in your present and you don't know where they're at, it could be that they're entertaining people in a crowd of people. Probably not a good thing, if you're not there around them. Some of your Taurus are missing someone who may have been on the other side and may not no longer be with you. So you guys are probably sitting back daydreaming or visualizing that they are there with you. So it's like you reenacting or dream about them. So it's basically like um, you're imagining that they're sitting there talking to you like you was before. So you could be talking to yourself, sort of like what I'm doing now as I'm recording. So this could be something that you're doing with them, or you could be talking to someone online, but you're away from the person that you are dating or in love with. Um, some of these Taurus could be in jail or prison, and you could need medical, or you could have gone to the doctor. Maybe you had something wrong with your stomach. You could have been sick or something. But I feel like some of these Taurus probably have to go into the hospital. For some of these Taurus, you probably had to go away for a business trip. But you get there to a hotel and it's not the hotel you thought it was going to be. You're like, okay, where is the correct hotel that's supposed to be at? Because you might have, online, what I think it did, it presented you as to be a very nice hotel. And then once you got there, you realized that it was not as up to date, it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it doesn't have the right accommodation that you want it to have. So some of you guys may be disgusted or feeling stressed out because the hotel you checked in was not up to standards the part you want it to be. And it's kind of like it's very frustrating towards you. You could be in a town or place where it's raining all the time, and you could have took a trip to see someone, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or someone you talk to online, and when you go see them, it's been raining since you got there. Um, be mindful of your surroundings. It could be someone that's they're giving the evil eye, and they probably don't want you to be with this person. So be mindful. I always say when it rains, it's something going on. Be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of the person who you with. It could be sweet and charming, and sweet and charming could be very dangerous. So it could not be that person. It could be spotted around them. It could be that you're in the wrong spot, wrong time. So be mindful of surrounding Taurus. Some of you guys could have what see someone who is sick in the hospital, or it could be Taurus who got pretty much sick, could have food poisoning, that's something that you ate. Be careful of what you eat because you got that card not once but twice. Some of you Taurus could be building a house by the water, or you could be renting a condo, or you could be looking to invest in one. A condo could be on the water, ocean. I would say be mindful of that too, because you don't want to encounter tornadoes, hurricanes, and that area in the water just floods. But it looks like you're trying to build it up pretty high. It could be in New Orleans or just over, in another island somewhere. But I feel like you're trying to build it up high. But I feel like even though you may build it out of strong structures, I feel like you just be smart, because I feel like these waves here is going to be pretty high, okay? Because sometimes we think we got a smart guard, and God is like, oh, so he think he going to be like me. Look at him. He got a building up a son. Look at him. That's so pretty. Ain't this pretty, y'all? It's so pretty. Look at him. He got a building up a son. He just don't know. We can send a, yeah, we can. He don't know that, dude. I'm not going to speak it in existence, but I'm just going to say. So just be mindful, because it comes up as if to say, my ego's like, yeah, because earth signs, your egos can pop it. And God be like, let me show you who's God. Hold on. I don't mean to hurt your feelings because you got all this money and everything. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm going to let you know. Tone it down. I said, don't be foolish and build your house on the sand where it's by the lake and or by the river, and you going to do it anyway, okay? So let me show you what I can do since you want to play. And I said, no, build your house out of straws. And what y'all do building all these trailer pops because you think it's smart. Well, let me show you a little something what I can do. Since you think you're smart and you're slick and you think you can make some easy money. Well, let me show you what I can do. Now you ain't got no insurance plan. Now you need FEMA. I'm just saying. Excuse me. Some Taurus, like I said, okay, this big old thing just popped on my screen, so you guys could be having something just pop up in your life and blocking you, like me, probably say something negative. Well, it's not negative, it's just to warn you, because sometimes we think we can outsmart guard. And it's just a little heads up. And most of the times, nobody wants to hear a heads up. Most people like, don't speak that negative on me. I bind that. Can't bind something that's written in the Bible, okay? You can't bind God. Trust me, I'm human. I'm all day. I be trying to outrid God too. I be like, hold up. It ain't gonna rain today because the weatherman says so. I go out there and I ain't got no umbrella. I don't need no raincoat or boots. And it just soak me up. I'm like, God, why you do me like that? I pray to you all the time. It's like, because it's my world. And you was pre-warned. And you want to be hard-headed. So, hey, keep doing your darn thing your way, okay? I'm just saying, okay? So, anyway, some of you could be a teacher at a black college, or you guys are in some kind of alpha fraternity class or something. Some of you guys could be, I guess, over the summertime, you could be trying to, how can you say, practice on whatever you do for your college campus. So I guess that's a big thing for some of you guys. You're really focused on that. For some of you Taurus, I would say you guys are going to maybe like, I don't want to say a fair. It's more like a place where you go and drive like go-karts, or you could be buying a go-kart. It's like a four-wheeler. It's a four-wheeler, so they drive around and it's like a little race car, but it's not a race car. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to say go kart, but it was like you had one of those places where you get a man your wristband and or show your man the wristband. And you just yeah. For some reason, it could be some guitarists, either you a cop or detective or whatever it is. It could be that you have a face that you're looking for, or someone looking for your face, Taurus. Because yeah, someone is trying to identify you. Someone is trying to look at your face and try to figure out is this you, or you are trying to figure out go through the face and see because this person looks just like this person, and you're trying to identify is this person. So I don't know if someone's trying to identify you or trying to see is you who are. They feel like they either want you for something or you're trying to find them, vice versa, whichever one you know what I'm trying to say. For some guitarists, you guys are. I feel like you're kind of confused, but you're like, um, you're backed up on something. I feel like there's a lot of paperwork that you got to do, and you're backed up on it. I also feel like you have people that you got to pay out for some guitarists, and the job position that you have, you're stressing out, and you're not home with your family because it's a lot of backed up paper that you got to get done because it's causing you to be, away from home. So you're like, you got to drink a lot of coffee, more coffee, because it's keeping you up because you have to get the paperwork done because I feel like you have a lot of people that you're over and a lot of people has to get paid through you. Um, or you're in charge of people, or people getting paid or something like that. Sometimes you could be much like what you do. You're probably that person who, and you could be older, old school, older Taurus, who pretty much is um, you do things old school, do things the way you used to do when you was a child, before all this gadgets and stuff. I feel like you're not a big fan of new gadgets. I feel like you like to do things the way that it used to be in back days. I feel like all the new modern things, you don't want to work with it, you don't want to deal with it, and people probably try to get you to do it the new way. And I feel like you probably have a cell phone or something like that, you watch and stuff like that. But I feel like you are either just used to the old ways and you feel like the old ways is more healthier and it works best for you, or you could be dealing with somebody who feels that way, one way or the other. Um, Sometimes you guys are um, feeling like you're lacking sleep, you feel insecure about your body. Uh, you could have a baby, or a baby could be keeping you up, and you feel like you're losing sleep. You feel like you're not being able to keep up with your body weight because of you dealing with a newborn baby, or dealing with kids in general, and you just feel like you just can't focus on your health or focus on losing weight from after having a baby. Because you know, once you have a baby, you have that belly fat, and you just really can't attend to yourself like you want to. So I feel like some of your tires are real irritated or annoyed by that. Um, some of the stars could work in where you go to places where you sort of like a news reporter, where you go and you look at places that's been disaster and you report in disaster places. Uh, some of the times you could be taking your child to church. I don't know if you're getting them baptized, but I feel like some of the times could be uh, either you, the preacher, baptizing a young church, baptizing kids or something, or you taking your daughter to church or son to church to get baptized. Um, it just flashed in my head what I'm gonna say. That's probably why though, because once a child turns 12 years old, it's best that they get baptized because then they should know right from wrong. That way they can pronounce that Jesus is God. Blah, 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 blah. So maybe some guitarists are like that. Some guitarists, you're probably trying to get married, or you're asking someone to sign a piece of paper, whatever it be. It could be that you want your wife to sign a prenup, or your husband to sign a prenup, or you probably are telling someone to agree to a certain amount of money you've been paid for child support or something like that. So some guitarists could be getting someone to agree to something, whether or not it's to keep their mouth shut or to agree to the amount of money. Some guitarists could be taking your child to work with you this summer to teach them how to be more of a business type person. Some of your Taurus could be walking a runway or going to a runway, or you could be escorting someone, like you probably the bodyguard, a famous celebrity or something like that, and you probably the person who, um, you know, escorting them down the runway and stuff like that. Some of your Taurus could be an older person who take care of kids, and you're showing them the old way of living. You know, they don't probably go to school, but I feel like you show them how to live, how to survive the way you survive in life. So it's pretty much where you it's like you're homeless and the kids are homeless with you, but you guys are surviving. You know, you're having a good time. You're showing your kids how to uh, live in off the land. You know, versus living. So some of you could be traveling in RVs, and some of you could be recreating the buses that you see on YouTube. So some kind of way that you guys are showing your kids how to live the way uh, old time, man. Some Taurus could feel like someone's watching you, or you could be watching them, vice versa, whichever one it is. Um, Road rage, Taurus. Be mindful of hitting somebody. It could be somebody that didn't want to get your way, and you probably had a little road rage with them. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little bit conflict with somebody, and someone may bring you in for question, or you bringing someone into question. Like I said, it's got to be dealing with somebody who's missing or who's picture or photo you are looking for this person. Yeah, this person keeps coming up as the person you're trying to identify this person. Um, yeah, some of your tires could have got your car at the shop and now you're posting it on Instagram, Facebook, social media products to show off your car. Some of you guys are proud about your cars. I would say be mindful of showing off your money and stuff, Taurus, because you got this car right here that shows it could be someone coming in fighting with you because they seen you with a hot boy status, which means that you on a profile that's showing off you got money. And it's five of swords. It could be that you coming in and people like, oh, so yeah, where is that, man? Get down on the floor, man. Where's shit? So be mindful of that, Taurus. Showing off your hot boy monies and cars and stuff. You posting that, and you might get people to come since you got that. Run me up. Yeah. Some Taurus could drive a race car. Some Taurus have kids that's probably fighting in school. Some Taurus may be gearing up to go into space, or you focusing on going into space. Some Taurus may be dealing with a baby that's fussy, as I said before. It's keeping you up at night, or one of you guys up at night, or both of you guys up at night. The baby's really going through it, so you might want to take it to the doctor and see whether or not they might have some kind of hidden thing going on. That's probably why they won't relax. I know I seen this guy where he took the baby and just massaged their backs and stuff. Sometimes they have built up gas, and sometimes you have to massage their bodies so that they can, you know, burp because sometimes they're full of gas. And sometimes you have to take them to the doctor so the doctor can identify with the machine what it is. Because usually they can see the gas on their body or something like that. Taurus, be careful of running inside of the forest. You could be watching somebody run. They could be watching you run. Um, let's see what else do we got here. Taurus. Some of you guys could be on the spotlight. Could have everybody just, and it could be just in the past too. You could have someone just everywhere you go, somebody's taking pictures, and you're like, I don't have any privacy, And you may feel like you have to wear disguise every time you leave the house. You feel like somebody's always watching me. Playing tricks on me. Um, some guitarists are probably taking a yoga class. Some guitarists are probably trying to figure out how can you get out of this prison. And some guitarists may be dealing with a lot of kids that actually need special needs. Like these kids all probably wear diapers, and you're like, okay, I got a lot of special kids that need assistance all the time. Okay, so that's been the reading, Taurus. Oh, some of you guys could be really beefing with your girlfriend and baby mama. And You got a serious sucker here. Somebody really sucker you. But be mindful of that in front of the baby because you know the baby's kind of scared too. Okay, so that has been your reading, Taurus. I hope that was helpful to you guys, as it helps me when I do it for myself and look and it's like, no, that ain't gonna happen. And all of a sudden it's like, I ain't going. That's really what I needed. Okay, anyway, stop being goofy. Have a nice day. I hope you guys enjoy the reading. Come back and see mine. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, okay? Out of here. Oh, yeah, one more thing, Taurus, before I leave. I forgot this. Some of you guys may be dealing with a partner that's cheating on you all the time, and now they're very overprotective of you, and they fear like if they let you leave the house or go do anything without them knowing where you're going at, they feel like you're gonna do the same thing with you. Some of your partners could be at a restaurant or somebody cheating or someone on the job. It could be that they're sleeping with the person that's on the job they're with. So be mindful, you guys. If it's you, Taurus, you don't want to get somebody pregnant, okay? Because once again, you got a car with somebody gets real vicious, okay? So, all right, that's it, Taurus.